Xi Jinping is one of the most powerful leaders on earth. As the President of China and the General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party, his decisions affect one-fifth of humanity and reshape global politics, trade, technology, and security. Supporters describe him as a strong leader restoring China's greatness. Critics warn he has centralized power more than any Chinese leader since Mao Zedong. So who is Xi Jinping? How did the son of a purged revolutionary rise to absolute power? And what does his rule mean for China, and the world? This is the story of Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping was born on June 15, 1953, in Beijing, into a powerful communist family. His father, Xi Jinping, was a veteran revolutionary and a founding member of the People's Republic of China. But Xi's privileged childhood didn't last. During the Cultural Revolution in the 1960s, his father was purged by Mao Zedong, imprisoned, and publicly humiliated. Xi Jinping, still a teenager, was sent to the countryside under Mao's re-education campaign. He lived in a rural village in Shaanxi province, sleeping in cave dwellings, doing manual labor, and experiencing poverty firsthand, an experience Xi later described as formative to his political worldview. Despite being rejected multiple times because of his family background, Xi persisted and eventually joined the Chinese Communist Party, CCP, in 1974. He later studied chemical engineering at Tsinghua University, one of China's most prestigious institutions, though much of his education occurred during a politically turbulent era. Unlike many Chinese leaders who rose through elite urban networks, Xi built his career slowly and quietly, often in remote regions far from Beijing's spotlight. Xi Jinping served in multiple provinces, including Hebei, Fujian, Zhejiang, and Shanghai, gaining a reputation as a disciplined administrator. In Zhejiang, he promoted economic development while maintaining strict party control. In Shanghai, he was appointed party secretary during a corruption scandal, signaling that top leaders viewed him as reliable and loyal. His careful balance of economic reform and political obedience helped him gain trust among senior party elites. In 2012, Xi Jinping became General Secretary of the Communist Party, and in 2013, he assumed the presidency of China. At first, many observers believed Xi would be a consensus leader, a manager rather than a ruler. They were wrong. Almost immediately, Xi launched one of the largest anti-corruption campaigns in Chinese history, targeting both low-level officials, flies, and senior leaders, tigers. Officially, Xi's anti-corruption campaign aimed to clean up the party and restore public trust. But politically, it also eliminated rivals. Hundreds of thousands of officials were investigated. Several powerful figures were imprisoned or removed. By the mid-2010s, Xi had consolidated authority across the military, the security apparatus, state-owned enterprises, the Communist Party itself. Xi increasingly positioned himself as the core leader of China. In 2018, China removed presidential term limits, allowing Xi Jinping to rule indefinitely. This marked a historic break from post-Mao leadership norms, which were designed to prevent one-man rule. Xi also elevated Xi Jinping thought into the Chinese constitution, tightened control over media and the internet, expanded surveillance using facial recognition and AI. China entered a new political era, more centralized, more controlled, and more ideological. Under Xi, China pursued ambitious goals: Made in China 2025, technological self-reliance, expansion of state control over private tech giants, crackdowns on companies like Alibaba and Tencent. While China remained the world's second-largest economy, growth slowed due to property sector crises, COVID-19 lockdowns, global trade tensions. Xi emphasized stability and party control over rapid growth. One aspect often overlooked in Xi Jinping's rise is how deeply his leadership style is shaped by fear of instability. Having lived through the chaos of the Cultural Revolution, Xi views disorder as China's greatest threat. To him, political unity is not optional, it is survival. This belief explains his intolerance of dissent, his emphasis on ideological loyalty, and his push to place the Communist Party at the center of every institution, from private businesses to universities and even daily life. In Xi's worldview, economic growth, personal freedoms, and global approval are secondary to national cohesion. Stability, even at the cost of openness, is the foundation upon which he believes China's future must rest. Xi's rule has drawn global criticism for policies in Xinjiang involving Uyghur Muslims, restrictions in Hong Kong under the national security law, tightened censorship and suppression of dissent. Supporters argue these measures ensure unity and national security. Critics describe them as severe human rights violations. Xi Jinping reshaped China's role on the world stage. Key initiatives include Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, spanning Asia, Africa, and Europe. Assertive stance on Taiwan. Territorial claims in the South China Sea. Strategic rivalry with the United States. China under Xi presents itself as an alternative global model, authoritarian governance combined with economic strength. Xi's zero-COVID policy initially limited deaths but later sparked public frustration due to prolonged lockdowns. Rare protests emerged in 2022, signaling public exhaustion, something unusual in modern China. Eventually, China abruptly ended restrictions, raising questions about governance and transparency. Xi Jinping has also invested heavily in shaping how both China and the world perceive his leadership. State media increasingly portray him as a tireless, hands-on figure, visiting factories, rural villages, military units, and disaster zones, carefully reinforcing the image of a leader connected to ordinary people. At the same time, nationalist messaging has intensified, framing China as a civilization reclaiming its rightful place after centuries of humiliation by foreign powers. This narrative has proven powerful domestically, strengthening public loyalty while deflecting blame for economic slowdowns and international tensions onto external forces. Under Xi, patriotism has become not just an emotion, but a political expectation. Xi Jinping's legacy is still unfolding. To supporters, he is a strong leader, a restorer of national pride, a guardian of communist ideology. To critics, he is an authoritarian ruler, a centralizer of power, a risk to global stability. One thing is certain, Xi Jinping has reshaped China more profoundly than any leader in decades, and his influence will define the 21st century.